Afternoon. You guys go ahead.
Any more communication from the NFL on the Diggs interception?
No, I haven't. I
don't know how much you're aware of the history with the team, but they had a big kind of officiating snafu thing in 2014 during the playoffs when they picked up a PI flag. How much are you aware of that? And there's a lot of, from the fans' perspective, there's a lot of, we kind of got screwed mentality happening again. What do you tell the players? What do you tell yourself and the coaching staff when things don't go your way? You get kind of the calls go against you, I guess.
Yeah, I do know what you're referring to, but no, I don't. Honestly, I don't even speak of it. We don't even address it because it's out of our control. Being honest with you.
The Brock Wright play before the Jamal fumble. When you watched the replays, were you able to digest what happened? Not getting buzzed. Like, would you have challenged it as you think about it now? What, if anything, has to change with that process, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it probably wasn't clear enough to challenge it, knowing you got 4 downs on the one, so I don't. It was, we're good.
After watching the tape, what you think of Josh's debut and with having him and Kaminsky and Aiden, just the versatility that kind of gives you with those guys being able to play in and out and the different matchups you can create there?
I would say encouraging. To start with the Pascal question, it was very encouraging. And, he brings a little something to us from an explosiveness standpoint. He certainly has the high motor, but you could certainly feel him early in that game, and now the more plays he kind of took on, as he gets in better condition, game condition, he'll get better, and then time on task. I mean, he really, he hasn't played any football per se other than 3 weeks of practice. So, but it was very encouraging, so you add in there getting Kaminsky back was big. You could feel. You could feel him in there, and then Hutch. Those three, they do bring versatility, and they can play multiple positions, and they can do that on base and on third down. So it's very promising, and I'm glad to get Pascal and Kaminsky back.
You've got, just to expand on that a little bit, you've got 4 of your draft picks now starting on defense. What sort of dynamic or whatever do you have with those guys and progress they've made?
Yeah, well, they're all, they're, again, you just said it, they're young guys and they're growing. I mean, they're guys that we selected for a reason, and they're football guys, man. They've got good FBI, they're high motor, and they've got some ability. So, having those guys and just letting them grow and get a little bit better is going to be, I think it'll pay pretty good dividends for us.
I was wondering if you had an update on quarterback coach Mark Brunell after missing yesterday's game.
Yeah, we anticipate him back anytime, today or tomorrow.
How important is he to this team? Where do you think he was missed most yesterday with that offense and Jared?
Well, certainly, anytime you don't have a position coach for a little bit, you spread the load out with everybody else. But I know that he and Goff and really that quarterback room is pretty close, and he's been a guy that, he's kind of the soundboard. He delivers the message, he coaches him, but he's also the sounding board and the buffer between, Goff and everybody else. So it'll be good to get him back.
When you made the decision to deactivate Amani a couple weeks ago, you made a point there that it wasn't the end for him, and that proved to be the case really quickly, back in a starting role with injuries. With Brockers, it seems a little bit different. It's a veteran, more towards the end of his career. You've made a decision kind of go with youth up front. What is Brockers' kind of future with this franchise?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you said the future?
Yeah. Where's he going forward?
Yeah, look, I just think that I take it for where it is right now, and that's, he provides a tremendous amount of leadership to us, and he's helped that room in multiple areas, and so there again, from where we're at right now, we felt like once we got Kaminsky and Pascal back with where it is, that was the right lineup for us, but just like last week when we talked and communicated it with him. He's like, look, I'm all in. He's practicing. He's all, you need me, you need me. And in the meantime, I'm going to continue to help these young guys get better. So he's a pro's pro, man.
Is it safe to say the door's open for him like it was for Amani?
Yeah, I mean, you never know. We may need him, or it could be that's the lineup of the week. So you know, he's on call.
How's Amon-Ra? Is he cleared or is he still in protocol?
No, yeah, well, he's in the protocol, but he's certainly trending the right way.
Just was it determined whether he had a concussion or not?
No, he cleared. He cleared, but it's, you know, he's in the protocol just to go through the process of it. But I would anticipate us having him this weekend.
So I just wanted to go back to that. I know I asked you last night when he got pulled from the game. That was a representation of the rule, the ataxia, that the official basically ruled him out in that moment.
Yeah, well, so my understanding is, you know, looked a little, disoriented certainly, and then go to the tent and you know, you're going to go through the whole process of clearing him, and in the meantime they look at the video, and so when they see the video plus what they saw there, it's automatically you're out now.
So while he was getting evaluated in the tent,
He had cleared up. He had passed everything that.
But they ruled him from the video you saw.
Yes.
And just for clarity on that, is there any circumstance under which a player that is sent off, like Amon-Ra was, could come back in a game, or is that gone now?
My understanding is that's gone now.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Just that determination that he was cleared on one hand, right? He passed the test, but he can't go back and play because of the.
Yeah, I don't. That's out of my department. You know, there's nothing. You know, I mean that's what they deem, and you know, I don't mess around with head stuff. So
After the loss in New England, you said that was rock bottom. Where do you think you guys are after this game?
climbing back out. I'm encouraged by our defense. It was encouraging. It's hard to lose, but boy, when you watch the way that they played yesterday, and I told them, I said this last night, they played exactly the way we practiced. You know, it was high energy. They were intense. They were urgent. We got a ball out. You know, got a turnover. You could feel their pressure on third down. We hit the quarterback early, so we challenged on the perimeter. Our secondary was coming down, hitting and tackling. I mean, that was Jeff Okudah's best game since he's been here, in my opinion, and he practiced that way. So I would tell you another guy. I thought Julian Okwara, that was his best game for us. He really showed up. We challenged him, and he had a good week of practice, and he stepped up. So that's encouraging because, you know, if your defense begins to, you know, they start finding their way there a little bit, you got a chance. And, you know, it's a credit to AG. You know, we changed a few things, kind of went back to what we were doing last year, just the way we play those big boys up front and getting Hutch up in a 2-point and having Pascal back, Kaminsky, and then, you know, helping the perimeter a little bit. But I thought they all showed up. You mentioned Amani. I thought Amani played physical, you know, so it was encouraging.
When you mentioned getting some of the players back on defense that have helped you, do you think that's kind of what will lead to the offense getting back on track, getting some of the guys, the Swifts and St. Brown back in there in the regular rotation?
I would say this, it wouldn't hurt. That's what I would say.
Kirby Joseph yesterday almost had the pick, and he had the forced fumble.
He's this close. He's this close. I swear, every game he gets this much closer to getting one. It's one of the reasons we liked him. He's a ball guy. He's got instincts back there. He's got range, and he's this close. So every week he's gotten better and better and better, and that was huge. You know, we preached takeaways last week, and he came up with a big one in the red zone. So he's trending the right way.
You kind of used him in a different way as a box defender a couple times, specifically to help the run game. Is that something that what was like a Dallas-specific matchup thing?
No, it was really more of that's a little bit more of what we're doing now. That was we're going to set edges and funnel everything inside to our backers, our two big guys, and now anything pops through there. You know, if it gets out to that perimeter between the edge setter and you know, and your linebacker, now you put them in a phone booth for your corner. You're going to have to tackle on the perimeter, you know, where you got all that space. And we just felt like it was going to help everybody. and it did.
Dan, I just
think of
wanted to ask you
Jeff's?
something about the fans again, just to go back with the call. I think Dave bought everybody a beer on the way back on the 7 a.m. flight for the Lions fans. But as a former player, coach now, how do you guys handle that as far as when you feel like there was an unjust call or something? Is it easy to move past that? Is there just give and take on good calls, bad calls each way? How do you guys handle bad luck, I guess, in officiating?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's hard. Look, I came from New Orleans, so we felt the same way there too. So, so I'm no stranger to any of that stuff. But I know that the best way to handle it is, honestly, you got to look past it. You can't even, if you just dwell on it and you think about it, and if you feel like you got screwed, you're doing nothing. You're just gonna wallow in despair, and because you have no control over it. You absolutely have zero control over it, and it doesn't matter. You can complain about it. You can, and you'll get the well, sorry, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. So I think the faster you can get over that and just accept the fact that what's done is done, the better off you're going to be.
Dan, I wanted to ask about Jared. When you look at tape of the last 2 games, what's been different in his performance as opposed to the start of the year, and why has it often struggled?
With that, who's that?
Jared.
Oh yeah, I got you. Well, look, I think there's a number of things to that. Certainly the injury at the receiver position has done a little bit to that. I think not having Swift has hurt a little bit because you lose a little explosiveness in the run game. And then, it took us a minute to figure out our old line, just with, Skip came in for a game, then we got Evan Brown. And I think there's just a combination of things that have maybe been a little unsettling, and on top of that, there's a number of these guys that we're going into games with that aren't even practicing because that's kind of where we're at. It's, we have to have them to play the game, and to do that, we can't practice them to feel like we can get them to the game, and that's hard. But it's what that's the task we're given right now.
Just wondering what you thought of Jeff's versatility and I guess his ability to execute his new role, and how did you kind of take to that in practice last week?
You said Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, like I say, he stepped up just in regards to what we asked him to do, and you could tell he was locked in last week, and there was a look to him, and he said coming out of the bye, he acknowledged things he wanted to work on, and he took that to AP, and he just, you could see it, and he was locked in, and when you tackle like that as a corner, and then you see him challenge on the perimeter outside, man, that's what you're looking for, and so I expect him to continue to trend that way. All right.